There is a huge variety of weapons to choose from in Splatoon 2, from short range, high damage blasters to far reaching snipers that can one-shot you from across the map. There really is something to suit every playstyle. But for this video, I'm going to be focusing on my top 10 favourite weapons, not necessarily the ones I think are the best. I believe that anyone can play a weapon well and enjoy it, even if it's not seen often in competitive, which is the case for a few of these weapons. A disclaimer before I begin, I play backline, so the vast majority of these weapons are long range and support based, so don't come after me saying my opinion's wrong, okay? And with that being said, let's get into the list. Kicking off this list we have a slosher, the slosher deco to be exact. I always used to hate this weapon due to its hitbox. It seemed off compared to the other sloshers, but recently I gave it another chance and soon discovered how versatile and fun it is to play. The slosher's main attribute is its ability to slosh over walls, providing pressure in areas of certain maps not possible with most other weapons. This can lead to some interesting plays and really makes you think about your every move. You can't simply spam ZR and win with the slosher, but if you can space your opponents well, it can be a monster in 1v1 situations. Its range is very deceptive, and because it always two-shots, no matter how close to the edge of its range your opponents are, it deals very effectively with shooters and slow-moving weapons if you have the upper hand going into the fight. The slosher deco's kit is also very helpful. The sprinkler is good to clear patches of enemy ink and to help you save up for your special. While sprinklers do not do direct damage like a bomb, they can still help you in a fight to increase your area of movement, or if you want to escape from an unfavourable situation. The real reason why people like this weapon is its special, the baller. This provides instant pressure as well as invincibility, and is perfect when pushing the objective in any mode. Splat zones, baller in to capture the zone. Tower control, baller on the tower to get some save points on the enemy team. This special versatility really makes playing the slosher deco fun, and that's why it makes the list. Why bother on a plain old boring backline when you can be short and long ranged at the same time? The ballpoint sparkling new bow has a really interesting gimmick, where at first it provides rapid fire at a shorter distance, then drastically increases its range to hit farther away targets. Even though at long range it shoots slower, it's still a fast kill time for how far you can reach. This makes the ballpoint very versatile. Combined with the insane run speed you get, a good ballpoint can be unstoppable in the right situations. With this weapon, it's so easy to change position and pick off the opposing team, and unlike many other backliners, you don't have to compromise anything else for that race. Its kit is also very useful. Beacons are a very underrated sod, especially in larger maps, where a safe jumping point for your team can easily help defend against a push, or support in providing constant pressure. The Ballpoint Nouveau Special, while expensive at 220p, is very helpful for supporting pressure, and can benefit in 1v1 situations due to its versatility. However, despite all these positives, it's only number 9 on my list, as I find it too inconsistent to use effectively all the time. I will admit a larger part of that is due to my lack of skill with the weapon, but its gimmick has led to countless deaths over the many matches I've used it in, usually when I try to fight other long-range weapons. That still doesn't take away from all the positives it has over the vast majority of weapons in this game, and that's why it's number 9 on my list. Do you want to be frustrated when playing Splatoon? Then try the Elite 4K scope for a few games. Because it's so slow, it can't defend itself very well from any kind of slayer that comes into your close proximity, and it's tough to consistently hit shots, especially if your opponents are aware that they are in your sights. It took me hours upon hours of humiliating defeats before I started to understand how to play this weapon. However, once I could aim, I started to enjoy this weapon more than I ever anticipated. It's so much fun to stand on a far-flung ledge and pick off the enemy team one by one. Because the Elite is the longest range weapon in the game, as long as you hit your shot, your 1v1 is a guaranteed win. The Elite shines most in splat zones, on large maps with a good range of sniping spots, such as Morve Towers and Avalon Mall. Anyone who has fought against some good Japanese Elite knows the pain of moving into the open only to be splattered into oblivion by a laser of death. Its kit is surprisingly good for the weapon's playstyle. Ink mines can be used to help tag flanking opponents, as well as halt someone if they are chasing after you. And even though they don't do much damage, they can be the difference between life and death, and if you ever get a kill with one, it's so satisfying. The Special, which happens to be Ink Storm, provides great support and is very affordable, with it only needing 170p to be fully charged. I'm not very good with blasters, but the Kenza Rapid has a good balance between damage, range and supportive capabilities. Rapid blasters have a fast fire rate, which is good to clear large areas of enemy ink and make quick work of squids hiding around corners. With a direct hit, the rapid blaster does 85 damage, which may be enough to one-shot depending on how weak they are before you engage with them. If they are at full health, you need either a direct plus an indirect or 3 indirects to secure the splat. Because of this, the rapid does not do well in close range situations, but is perfect to space out clumps of enemy squid. It's such a great feeling when you pick off someone hiding behind a corner trying to outsmart you. The Kenza Rapid really comes into its own when you take a look at its kit. Torpedoes are perfect for this weapon. They offer an easy way to trap and space opponents, and the damage done by one can make an enemy squid vulnerable enough to be one-shotted by an indirect. This, coupled with its special, Baller, makes for a good balance of offensive power and pressure, and overall makes this weapon one I can fall back on. I don't enjoy using many shooters, but the custom Jet Squelcher is one I can get behind. It has a very impressive range of 82, enough to outrange the vast majority of weapons in the game. Paired with an accurate 4-shot kill, the custom jet shines at holding the backline and picking off anyone who comes into range. Because it has versatility of a shooter, it can defend itself from more aggressive weapons easier than support ones. This also means that it's not certain death if you play more offensively when pushing and apply lots of pressure on the enemy team. The kit is one of my favourites in the game when it comes to giving the base weapon a range of tools to combat anything. Its sub is burst bombs, which are cheap and blow up on contact. While they do 60 damage at most from a direct, they are an amazing tool to damage opposing squids and stop them from escaping. It also helps against slayers such as the T-Tech and blasters to do a chunk of damage and bring down the time needed to kill. Not to mention the specialist Stingray, which is perfect for any backline. The ability to shoot through walls and take out people from the other side of the map is perfect for the jet to deal with weapons it would otherwise struggle with. There is no better feeling than aiming your way at the objective and wreaking havoc. When the Explosion was first released, I thought it was one of the worst weapons in the game, and at a glance it's easy to assume why. Its fire rate is very slow, and it can't one-shot, with the splash damage only dealing 35 at a time. However, as soon as I tried this weapon out for myself, I realised how fun it is to use. Like other sloshers, it can shoot in an arc, hitting opponents behind cover. Due to the Explosion's long range, it can do this better than any other weapon. The splash made by firing a shot is also very large, which makes the Explosion a great weapon for painting and holding sections of the map. While the Explosion does not do well in close range situations, if you play your cards right, you should be able to pick off anyone who comes in your long range. I do think that this weapon has a very high skill level as its mechanics are so different, but it's so fun to use I didn't mind grinding it until I was confident in my abilities. The Explosion's kit is also very interesting, with its sub being Sprinkler. While I think an offensive sub would have helped the Explosion out, the Sprinkler is perfect at doing what the Explosion is good at, painting. This can be used to secure specific areas of the map and it assists with its special, Bubble Blower. This special allows you to blow 3 large bubbles and pop them to clear places of the map and get a kill or 2 in crowded areas. They can also be used as protection, especially when pushing the objective, as opposing squids will not stay too close to a bubble in fear of being blown up. The Sprinkler deals damage to bubbles, which makes them pop much easier in a pinch and prevents the other team from making quick work of your shield. Overall, the unique gimmicks and kit synergy make it a great choice for a fun, supportive backline. While I mainly stick to backlines, the Kenza L3 nozzle nose is so much fun to use I couldn't exclude it from this list. When you use 2 mains and main power up, the Kenza L3 does 33.3 damage per shot, almost enough to 3 shots. However, in a match, most enemy squids are never at full health, especially in a 1v1 situation, which means that in most cases you can pull off that quick splat, as one press of ZR unleashes a quick burst of 3. The L3's range of 62 is very impressive for such a light weapon, which makes it easy to outrange many shooters, and it's a good choice for an offensive midline. It comes with Splash Wall, which acts as a barrier when pushing forwards, as well as a line of protection in times of need. The Kenza L3 is one of the only midlines with this sub, which sets it apart from the competition. However, the real reason why I love this weapon is the special, Ultra Stamp. When activated, you unleash a giant stamp that crushes anyone in its path whilst also offering you protection. This can be used to push forwards or turn 1v1 situations round if used correctly. This is my favourite special in the game, as it's powerful and a blast to use. Because not many weapons in the game have the Ultra Stamp, I don't get the opportunity to use it often, which is why I picked up the Kenza L3, and I'm glad I did. When I first tried out vanilla Splatterscope, I remember hating it. Because I was so inconsistent, I found it hard to enjoy playing, and was constantly frustrated with losing match after match. However, that gradually began to change, and while I'm nowhere near the skill level of high charger players, I can now go into a match with the Splatterscope, eager to improve and help my team. I enjoy the challenge of using snipers, as it's worth all those missed shots when you get that perfect read and snipe an opponent who has you in their sights. The Splatterscope's sub is Splat Bomb, which pairs perfectly with this weapon. This allows you to pressure opponents and act as a last line of defense if somebody manages to sneak up on you. This can be a sneaky way to get a splat beyond the grave if you manage to place one before you are taken down. They can also be used to help clear small areas of ground and are just really versatile. The special, Stingray, is also another perfect fit for this weapon. It allows you to apply easy pressure from across the map and defense against the objective. I can rely on the Stingray to get a few kills, and as long as I use it several times per match, I don't feel like a deadweight when I can't snipe well. If you want a backline with versatility, the heavy Splatling may suit you well. Unlike most long-range weapons, it's really easy to pick up and master due to its all-round good stats. It has a fairly quick charge time, good mobility if coupled with lots of run speed, and a long-range 4-shot kill. I struggle to find a team comp that a variant of the heavy Splatling would not fit in, as it's so well-rounded. I struggled to choose which variant to put on this list, but eventually decided on this as it's the one I'm the most experienced with, but all three kits work well with the main weapon. The Vanilla's sub is the Sprinkler, which helps charge its special and secure areas of the map, as the heavy is not the most consistent painter. I also find it useful when escaping from unfavourable situations, as the Sprinkler quickly leaves a circle of ink to separate you and your attacker. The special, like other backliners, is the Stingray. Because the heavy is not the longest range weapon, it needs a tool to effectively fight off other weapons with a faster kill time, and the Stingray does just that. If you want to start playing backlines, I recommend picking the heavy up, as most other long-range weapons have a high skill floor compared to the simple mechanics of the heavy. Where do I begin? Ever since I first tried the custom Hydra Splatling, I knew this was the weapon for me. It's a super long-range, fast-firing Splatling with the ability to shred through opponents at a lightning-fast pace. When fully charged, it does 40 damage per hit, which equates to a 3-shot, and an extremely fast 3-shot at that. The Hydra's charge may take a long time to complete, but the amount of time you can fire from a single charge is incredible. You can ink so much ground from a charge and apply pressure if you position yourself correctly. The Hydra does a better job at dealing with longer range weapons than other Splatlings, as its kill time is so fast many people won't be able to react. Its sub is ink mines, which are great to space opponents and keep people from flanking. They can also be used in pinch situations to get a splat against fast killing slayers. Because the Hydra is so long ranged and its fire lasts for what seems like forever, its special, Ink Armor, is a perfect fit. This provides support for your teammates, as well as helping you out in 1v1 situations. With Ink Armor and the full charge ready, I truly feel unstoppable in most situations, and that's why the custom Hydra is number 1 on my list. Thanks so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, as it really helps me out. Share this video with friends, and with that out the way, I'll see you all next time.